Well, hello, and welcome back, everybody. Let's go ahead and do a quick sound check here. Alright, looks like everything's working good. Finally! Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and refresh the chat and enable the timer. And we are go. So, before I get back into the prep work, which is the thing that I should be focusing on, that's really important. Hey, what's up, Robin Cods? How's it doing? Or how's it doing? No. How's it going? How are you doing? I can English. Hi. So before I actually get to the part that I really should be doing, this problem has been sitting on my mind, and I don't actually know if I can come up with a good solution for it in shell scripting. So what I want to do is I want to make it so that I can type the command exactly for aliasman. So what aliasman does is you give it an alias command. Well, right now these two work. So you give it an alias command, and then it sets your aliases, and then it prints out your alias to the screen so that you can copy and paste it and have it set in the current session. But what I want to do is to allow it so that you could paste a literal alias string to it and it work just as well. The problem is that I don't know how to parse the equals. And what just came to me just now is that maybe I don't need to. Let's see. Maybe I don't need to parse the equals. I think I don't. I think this is the solution. If the first parameter has an equals in it, then I just treat it as is. I treat it as though the equals is already there. And then let's see what that does for us. Cuz when you're dealing, so you have to think this actually could be done in two different ways. I think it needs to have the quotes around it. I'm not sure. And by the way, Robin, what are you? Oh, Robin Codes. Is that supposed to be codes, like as in I code, or is that supposed to be cods, as in a last name? Because it could go either way. But what are you up to? What are you interested in learning? What have you been learning this past week or so? Let me think. The key example here. Node? Awesome. I do a lot of Node on the channel. But I code in Node in a very simple way. I do not like the complexity that has been brought into the ecosystem as of late. Let's see. So this is my. Let's try this. What the letter L just happened there? What? Hold on. Cancel? Oh, duh. It looks like a double pipe here. It's an L. I was thinking, what in the world? Okay, now I understand. Okay, so I think... Hey everybody, how's it going? So I'm starting off with a little bit of a detour of something that I'm not sure how to do. Okay, I'm just going to update this. There we go. Now this is a much better example. The question is, what tools can I use in the POSIX shell that will allow me to get rid of this equals if I even need to? I'm going to go back to this project folder. Let's see. So the one issue of, okay, let's ignore alias, because you can't alias. Well, I guess you could. Let's see, where was that at? But it wouldn't be a good idea. Don't do it. Let's see here. Shift 1. All right, so we get rid of that. I think... Did I want to have this be or delete as well? I think I did, actually. There we go. For funsies? I don't know. Probably shouldn't do it for funsies. Should probably only do it for cereal. Let's see here. So we're going to say ignore alias prefix for compat with copy paste. All right. Trying to think, how would this work? I think we do want to get the name of it. The only way that it could all be one string is if the equals joins it. Otherwise, it has to be two strings. So therefore, we know for a fact that the first equals of the first string is the name of the alias. Okay. Let me think about that for a second. Let's think about this. Okay, this is where it gets a little shifty. Can we unshift? POSIX shell unshift. Yeah, we can't do arrays like that. Oh, this gets a little tricksy. I'm not sure if I want to shift yet or if I want to... Let's do this. So what we want to check for is if... So this will actually be... Is it case and ESAC? Where's my other case at? Okay, so I think this would be star, star, and then I don't know what we do here. Echo to do. I'm not sure what would need to happen. And then I think we just have a star, and this is the default behavior. So in this case, the first, what do we call it? Okay, I think I've got it. So we need to declare my command ahead of time. So we need to declare it up here. And then same thing with my command name. So these need to be declared up here. If we detect an equals, and I forgot how I'm doing this. Is it case something like... I need to go look up how I've used this in the past. I think if I look in my duckdns .local bin duckdns. So where's my case here? Okay. Okay, so that was supposed to be IPv6, IPv4, and then the remainder. Dang it, this gets so screwy so fast. we're going to have to get the length of this string somehow, I think. Could be the case of either let's see, what did I just show here? I think it's fair to say that this style is not supported. Let me see if alias requires quotes or not. Oh, this is SQL. I don't care about that. Oh. Let's take a look here. Okay. So hey, what's up, Dubs? Yeah. So I just have this itch that I have to scratch before I get back to the thing I'm supposed to be doing, according to my own what I'm supposed to be doing, which is that I really wanted to solve this issue with Aliasman. And this question of what are the circumstances under which this plays out. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that anytime that an equals is used, then the next thing must be a quote. I don't think that's optional. From the documentation here, it looks like that's correct. Okay. And I think that's true across the board. I could test this real quick in Fish and whatnot, but if we go in here, okay, I think that's fair then. Not allowed. Alright, I think this is what I need to do. So it must be the case of, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to say this. Mixing equals without quotes is not allowed. Verboten. Is that how we spell verboten? That's right. Forbidden. Verboten. Okay, so we're not going to allow this style. If we disallow this style, we can detect this as an error, and that's good. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to detect this as an error, and we can use this style because we know what the first one is. Okay, so if my alias contains an equal, then my then my command, okay, then it would be my full alias. I don't know. My alias back. There we go. All right. And then we'll create a subshell. And in the subshell, we will echo my alias back, and we will cut -d equals and get field 1. Alright, and that's the alias. And then we need to take the length of that plus 1, and that is going to be what we cut off from our command. So there's the alias. And now we need to do echo my alias back and then cut -c and then my alias length. We have to do, I think it's this way if I remember correctly. And then I think, oh my heavens, it's my alias plus 1, I think, or something like this. My alias pound. And I'm going to have to test this independently. Okay, so that would be my command. And I think my command name is still the same. So I think my command name doesn't change. It's just a matter of or maybe it's nothing. If 0 length, my command All right, I'm gonna have to try this out all on its own as its own thing. So let's see what this looks like. So let's see. Chop alias.sh. Okay. So I'm going to run chop alias on, and then my example here was cat equals bat style plane. Oh, whoops. $17. Okay. Unbound variable. Maybe I need to do this. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, what did I do wrong here? Somebody help me out. This is the length, is it not? Len cat. Oh. No, this is right. Okay. So I'm using this wrong is what's happening. So POSIX variable length. I thought it was just a pound. Oh, it's the pound before, not the pound after. Okay. My alias Len. There we go. Okay, interesting. The length is 3. 0, 1, 2. Five, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because it starts at, it's inclusive. Alright, that makes sense. Alright, so this is working. There we go. All right. So this is what we need then. So if is not 0, something like this. Like that. Oh. If not 0, my command. Then if not 0, the rest of the arguments. Then we could say return 1. Say error must use quotes when assigning with equal. And then I always forget how to do the echo to standard error. It's something like this. Or like maybe like this. I had it the first time this one. I don't think this is actually right. Let me check again. Echo to standard error. There we go. 1 and 2. That's it. This always confuses me as to why it wants it to go in one place versus going to another place. Because it will allow that, but I think that that's not the way you're supposed to do it. I think you're supposed to do it this way, and I don't remember why. Let's see. There we go. That's a better everyday example. Okay, let me see. Oh, by the way, welcome, Muscle Me? Muscle Me? Muscle Ame? So if you're piping to a file at the end, I think without the file arg, it's just a standard out as normal. Yeah, so this one, the way that this is written is, and you can actually, I found this out once before because of something else I was doing. You can actually create new file descriptors. So you could have a 3 or a 4 and you could do all sorts of weird stuff with them. And I think in some cases, depending on the implementation, it'll create a temporary file. And so there was something about, you know, if it showed creating a third file descriptor, but if you use it with a password, don't do it because it'll save it to the disk and yada yada yada. But anyway, this is saying 1 goes to the reference of 2. So this is basically saying 1 becomes 2. And I'm wondering if there's a way that I could remember this, because it's not the same way as the typical caret operator, which is what just came goes to this file. The ampersand goes to the reference of, and the number. So I guess the way to look at it is that this, well, if you put a number in front of the caret, then that is the number that is being affected. In any case, no, what, why? I'm a little confused because I thought that this was shifted. I'm so confused right now. Oh, right. In my original, it's shifted, but it's not shifted here. Okay. So this is cool. So this gets rid of the error condition. So we don't allow every permutation, but we allow the allowable permutations. And then I wonder, could we allow this? I just want to think about it for a second, because right now I'm saying, oh, it's not allowed. But could we allow it? I think the reason that we can't allow it is that I can't unshift. And then I would have to take this alias len and I would have to carry that around to the next piece, which maybe I could do right here. I'd have to think about it. My command, and then we're trying to get my command name, because let me see how I use it in the actual one. Because maybe we could still do it. Maybe we could allow it. All right. So in this one, my command becomes echo. Okay, what if we did it this way, though? I think we could do this without having the error. It gets a little wonky donk. But I think it actually checks out. And then we're done with that. I just started using Vim commentary. I'm so powerful now. I don't know how I live my life without it. It was a bad life. It was not the good life. Oh, hey everybody, how's it going? So I'm not yet to the point of what the title of the stream is. I am working on something else that I just had an itch for. It's adjacent because I actually am going to be using Aliasman in the workshop, so I wanted to get this feature implemented. But basically, there's a few different ways of defining an alias, and I wanted to make it compatible whether you define it with spaces or with an equals or with quotes. Probably a bad idea. I probably shouldn't have done that. But it's the way I started. I already released V1 and look, it's got 5 stars. Think of all the people who would be very, very upset if I changed the API on them. It would be at least 5. I think one of those is me. And I would be upset about it too. T-Pope does make the blessed Vim plugins. Alright, so Robin, you say, give me an idea of this. I'm only familiar with JS and C++. Well, I would recommend that you join in on our workshop so that you can learn some shell scripting, because I think that shell scripting, no matter what other language you do, shell scripting comes in important for, 1, your just everyday productivity, and 2, Docker, CI/CD, any sort of deployment pipeline, anything that you want to be able to automate across systems. So this is, I'm working on 2 things that I'm working on. There's what's in the title that I'm not actually working on yet, except tangentially, and there's what I'm working on right now is Aliasman. So in the shell, you can create aliases. So you have a command that's, the canonical example would be ll. ll is equal to ls-l, which means that in my shell, I did not have a command ll. I'll actually demonstrate this real quick. So I don't think I have a command lx. I do have a command ll, but I don't think I have a command lx. Unknown command lx. So I'm going to do alias lx and then ll, or it's going to be ls dash, and we're just going to say L. So now if I do LX, now LX has just become the command ls-l. And I could take LX and I could pass other commands to it. So I could do LX dash, I don't know what would be a good one. Maybe S for sort, or maybe R. Yeah, there we go. Reverse sort. Capital S. So now this becomes, when it expands out, it becomes ls-l-rs. So it's just a little shortcut. That's all it is. But alias, when you type it, it doesn't save it. So if I want to save it, I can do aliasmin, alias. So I can just put aliasmin in front of whatever it was that I typed. That's what I want to make possible. Originally, for some silly reason, I didn't design it to be perfectly compatible with the way that alias is. And so now I'm going back and adding that. That's what I'm doing. Hey Josue, how's it going? Good to see you again. Opening a new file descriptor only creates a number on the descriptor table for that process and points to the inode table. Points to the inode table in general. That does not mean it will save to disk in any way. Yes. But there was something about the way that some shells handle it that they do create a file because of the way that things get piped. In particular, the Kirby director can create a file. So this one right here, if I say sh curl https webby.sh, this one right here. So the Kirby director, as I like to call it, because it kind of looks like starts to kind of look like Kirby full of stuff. This one can actually create a temporary file, and I think there's some other ones too, where they'll create a file descriptor, but the file descriptor will go to a file. So the specific example that I mentioned earlier may not be true for what I was talking about, but the conceptually it can happen in certain cases. Okay, except if that process gets swapped to disk, but literally everything is probed to that. You're right. Especially for adding C++. So earlier, Robin, did any of these descriptions help? Yes, aliasmin is the same as putting the alias in the bash rc as ESH or whatever, except that aliasmin is putting it in all of them. So aliasmin, if we go look at my .zshrc, and this is also depending on which shell you're running, alias-s will do that. Alias-s will update that shell, but let's go down here. So we should see aliasmin, alias. That's weird. Oh, here it is right here. Generated for envmin, do not edit. So it will call load sh in any of these. So profile load.sh or load.fish if we're looking at config, if I could type .config fish, config.fish. So load.sh, load.fish, so there it calls load.fish, right? And then bash rc. So it puts this line in each of them. And then inside of .config envman alias.env, which is loaded from load.sh or load.fish. So this just goes over each of them and does a thing. This is where all the aliases are. So it saves them to a single file. So it is... The thing is... to teach people about all of the different directories, it removes a tedious layer. So in some ways you could say this is totally not worth it. If you work with only one shell and you are familiar with the nuances of the alias syntax for that shell, then yes. But I work with multiple shells. I work with both fish and bash. You kind of have to work with bash. Even if you're using ZSH, there are things in ZSH that are not compatible, or there are things There are things that are not compatible between ZSH and Bash. ZSH is almost perfectly compatible with Bash, but it is not perfectly compatible with Bash. So there's times when I need to switch between shells, and I just like my aliases to be available in whichever shell it is that I'm using. I don't want to have to worry about that if I need to drop from Fish to ZSH or to Bash, or from ZSH to Bash, but I don't use ZSH. But if I have to drop from one shell to another, I want my aliases to be there. So. Removing layers by adding layers. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But what I'm doing is I'm essentially adding an alias for adding an alias. So if it were standardized, then all you'd have to do is alias dash. There's two problems. One, alias dash S is not standardized. It means something different depending on what shell you're in, and it means nothing in a POSIX shell. So this is the first problem. Alias dash S is not standardized. The second problem is that although you can use the same alias syntax for any shell, they all use the same alias syntax, all of them. There is not a standard location where aliases are to go. So having to explain to someone, oh, well, you edit this file, you edit that file, you edit that file, check if it's here, check if it's there. I'd rather have something that's self-documenting. You know, if you type aliasman, this is literally self-documenting, and there is, you know, it tells you right now, right here, this is what is potentially edited with this, right? So tomato, potato. If you're someone who... I think this is useful for web developers. I don't necessarily think it's useful for Linux admins, if that's good enough to say. But I personally have not been using aliases to my advantage because I haven't had this tool. It's blocked me personally because I don't like to have to... I don't like to have to deal with differences between systems. And, oh, I'm on my Mac. Oh, I'm on my work computer. I just want to be able to... If I want to have all my aliases together, I just want to be able to copy one file and be done. And, you know, I guess you could say, well, don't use Fish. And then maybe... But no, because you still have to deal with Bash either way. There's always situations where you have to end up being either in the POSIX shell or being in Bash. So this should work with the Almquist shell as well. Anyway, let me... Now I've lost track of where I'm at. Why in the world would you use Bash? What is wrong with you, Josue? Are you stuck in the 80s? Why would you use Bash? I mean, you could have said something reasonable. You could have said, I'm always every time in ZSH. That would have been stuck in the 90s, but at least it's somewhat... Why in the world would you use Bash? Why would you do that? You masochist. You sick masochist. Ugh. You know, and it would be one thing if you weren't well versed, right? You know, I can excuse somebody who's never done any of this stuff before from using Bash because it was probably thrust upon them. But you know better. Go change all the servers in all the companies. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Sudo apt install -y fish. Why are you using servers that are non-interactive servers that aren't containers? Because if you're using a container, then it's going to have the Almquist shell. Unless you're doing the Ubuntu thing where you include an entire operating system to run a 12 kilobyte file. Because heaven knows, that was the vision of Docker. Need to run LS? There's a container for that. That's what they need. That's the slogan they need. Just really, really dumb things, you know? I spent last night downloading a 1 terabyte container. Now I can run LS. It gets updates every 10 minutes with the latest Docker file for running LS. My Kubernetes cluster can run LS. All right, anyway. So I think this will actually work. Oh, that's what I was gonna try. Interesting. So maybe not echo. Maybe printf. This is a strange one. Interesting. Okay, so there's... What if I do this? Huh. Okay, so it's preserving the new line there, but I don't want it to preserve the new line there. Okay, there we go. Nope, that didn't work either. Alright, so how do I get it to not preserve the new line? Oh, this is going to be so bad, because you know what I bet I need to do? I probably need a subshell. This makes me feel dirty inside. Or wait, can I just get rid of the quotes here? What happens if I do that? Nope. Still got it. Yeah, I don't want that. Alright, let's see what happens here. That feels so dirty, but I think it's the right thing to do. And then if we did this, it should still work. And then if we did this, it should still work. Yep. That's it. That's the one. That is about the dirtiest thing I've ever seen. But it is the right thing to do. I'm just curious what happens if I do put the quotes here. Yeah, that's not what I want. Okay. I'm pretty sure... I don't... Quote this to prevent word splitting. I'm pretty sure that's what I've already got there. Quote this to prevent word splitting. I know somebody who did that. Docker for Vim. Did you let him know there's a thing called NeoVim? Doesn't that solve that problem? Okay, hold on. What was 48 then? Hold on. What's 2048? Oh, okay. There we go. Alright, I'm kind of surprised that I managed to figure this out, but I think that this is gonna work. Oops. Handles the case of stores. Actually, I think yeah, that is fine. Combines possible yeah, alright. I don't know if I would have asked anybody else to come up with this. I'm starting to feel kind of dirty about this. I'd kind of like somebody to look at it and tell me I'm a bad person. I don't know. Alright, so alias. Alright. I don't know what to call this. Feet fix. I don't know what actually this should go with. Whoops. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Okay, I feel like this is a little bit difficult to explain. But I think that it's going to work pretty much perfectly. Let me check comments in just a second. So we're going to take my command, this whole thing. Okay. That's right. Let me go check over here what we got. I know someone that did that Docker for... Okay, we talked about it. I met him in one of your streams, actually. You did a 15-minute rant about it. Yeah. I believe it. We should find that and clip it. Josh, do you have any way to get the oldies but goodies? Find a 15-minute rant about Docker and Vim. Yeah. I do want a code review. Let me. I would be happy to have you as a contributor on this as well. But this is it, man. Aliasman. Yeah, a lot of this feels dirty, but I just don't really know what else to do about it. I think that I'm just trying to do a dirty thing. And when you're doing the dirty, you're doing the dirty. What do you do? I'm gonna add this. Oops. I accidentally hit a quote, but it filled it out for me, so it was okay. Okay, the alias one, I feel pretty good about that. Let's go ahead and say aliasmin, and then ll.txt. I'm just gonna keep that here. Okay. Aliasmin, alias ll. Nice. That didn't go the way that I expected, though. No, that did not work out. Hold on. Oh, because I'm not... right. I have to use this one here. Doi. Okay. And I'm just going to change the lettering here. So we're going to go with Fle rather than the other one. Alright, that looks like that worked. And so let's go back and take a look there. And then we're going to do... like this. All right. It looks like it's working perfectly. See, I like this because it says laugh. That's why I chose the letters in that direction. Laugh. LSD laugh. Okay, I think this is actually good. I'm going to go with feet, support, direct, alias, copy, pasta. Okay, git checkout dash B, alias, copy, pasta. I see you right now, Jojo Bite. Okay. Oh, there's Josue. You cannot contribute to Mozilla license code. So the MPL you should be able to contribute to because there is no, it is file level. So you can, there is no, okay. For the whole world, I give Josue explicit license in whatever manner, and I promise that no knowledge that Josue gains will in any manner ever, for time in perpetuity forever, from any knowledge that he gains from this repository will never be persecuted, blah, 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 in any manner or fashion, neither his employer, no matter how great the benefit may be. So there, if you make $1 trillion and you sell the secret to your employer, I promise, under penalty of perjury and death, I won't come after you for what you may have learned from my excellence in aliasman. And these are binding blah blah blahs. You should repent for coming up with that, you heathen? Yeah. Yeah, the YouTube gods don't allow that kind of crap to be said about me. All right. Yeah, so the MPL, I don't know that I think that the term copyleft is a dirty word. I don't like things that are copyleft. I would not, and I may be wrong about this under the technical definition, but I would not consider MPL a copyleft because it does not infect any other code. There's no infection. MPL says if you modify this, you must contribute back to this. Meaning if you take this file, and you change this file, the change to this file must be made public. But most of the stuff in here is, I mean, this is not earth-shattering intellectual property or anything, you know? But I don't believe in the MIT, because the MIT is basically saying, hey, look, here's my rear end. Stick whatever you want in it. That's what MIT says to the world. And so many people get butthurt about it, right? Because people contribute to open source and they put everything out there and they think it's all flowers and rainbows. And then they realize that people are taking advantage of them and it starts to hurt. And so I use MPL because I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want someone to take something that I wrote, pass it off as their own, and make lots of money on it, and for me not to get the benefit, for me to do the work and not get the benefit. And MIT sounds really cute when you're in college or when you're a hippie and a freedom fighter and you think you're fighting the good fight, but once you get burned, you realize that the MIT license is not a good license, that generally speaking, people should not be using it. It does not do what you think it does in the case, because you think, oh, I'm a freedom fighter, I'm a goodie, and so people are going to be nice to me because karma. No, if you produce something of value and you demonstrate that you are not capable of capturing that value, someone who is capable of capturing that value is going to build Google and steal all of your photos and then make you rent them. So. But in this particular case, I mean, it's just my general policy to use the MPL because the MPL grants me legal protection as well as granting you legal protection. Whereas the MIT grants me a rear end rod grants me, I can't, keeping it family friendly. We're already maybe past that bridge, but yeah. MIT license gives you the tools to harm me and doesn't give me the tools to protect myself from being harmed by you. Whereas the MPL is more mutual. I hate GPL code. Absolutely hate it. I think it's dirty. But the MPL, I think it strikes the right balance of, hey, I want protection for me, and I want you to be able to benefit as well, but I'm not going to lie about it, and I'm not going to let you lie about it. We're going to tell the truth to each other. All right. All right, this is good. Oh, and then what was I going to do with this? I don't think that this is at a point where I need to have anybody else sign off on this. I think I just need to make the pull request. Yeah. I don't have anybody else involved in this yet. Okay, but you know what else we need to do is we need to... Oh, sorry, whoops. So I do need to update this to February 23, and we do need to up this to V1. I mean, I think that's... I added a new feature. Yes, I did. I didn't fix a bug that was breaking the current usage. I added a new feature, and there is some chance that the way in which I added the new feature could break someone's workflow. So what this does not allow is this does not allow for having an equals in the name of a alias name. And so there is my prior version of the code. One could argue that what was here before was actually more correct. That we don't want to allow the equals mixed, but I'm going with it, and if I have to break it in the future for some reason, I will. But I just don't... Right now, I can't foresee putting an equals sign as part of the name of a command. I don't even think that would be allowed, because that's going to be interpreted as a variable assignment. So I think I'm safe there. I'm not handling the parsing of that. Can the equal sign be escaped? Maybe, but I'm not handling the parsing of that. I'm not handling the use case of having an equals be part of a command name. I'm just not handling that use case. If somebody were to raise a big stink about it, I'll just make a little note. The way in which I wrote this, you cannot have a command name with an equals. I think this is very reasonable, since x equals y would be considered a variable assignment, and x backslash equals y is just you stupid or something. But if we had to change it in the future, we could. We just... Oh, by the way, I realized... Do I have the right things on... Yeah, I do got the right things on here. Okay, good. Remember, if you want to, like, sub, follow. Because if you like what you like, you get more of what you like. As it says right there. See? Remember, if you like what you like, you get more of what you like. So please consider thumbs up, follow, sub, etc., and join us on the Discord if you want to. Hey! Thanks, Robin. You gotta say that every once in a while. Okay. Aliasman, alias, cat equals bat, style equals plain, and only allow this use case. I'm erring on the side of reason against all Josue. There we go. That's for you, my friend. think you were just playing Devil's Advocate or something on what I was already saying, so... yeah. Okay, where did I bump? Alright, here we go. And by the way, the musics are, of course, as always, OC Remix. We're listening to the Chiptune tag. This is Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island Back to the Island. And then the last thing that I got to remember to do is I need to cut the release. So we're going to go back to Aliasman. We're going to go to releases, and we are going to draft a new release, v1.1.0. Choose a tag, generate release notes. Interesting. Cool, I like that. That's weird, because I'm pretty sure I wrote the whole thing. I like those release notes. Those are pretty decent. I wish they would just prettify the common mark before they draft it, but whatever, this is fine. Okay, so now check this out. Check this out, y'all. Webby Aliasman. Yeah. Boom. Cool. Alright, so that was a good distraction from doing what I was supposed to be working on. And now it's time for me to go to bed, because I need to get a good night's rest. So, there's that. This is good. I feel good about that. That needed to happen. Oops. I closed that too quickly. Let me see what that was again. Alright, so I completely lied about what we were doing in the title. My bad. We could retitle this to AJ Works More on Webby or something. No, this isn't Webby. This was Aliasman. Or we can just leave it be. Okay. Let me get rid of this one. I should update the README. Dang it. I didn't update the README. Come on, why didn't somebody stop me on that one? That's simple. That's child's play. I didn't update the documentation. Let's see. I need to change this. Okay, I think I do want it to be like this. And that's fair. There we go. These are kind of harder to read, so that's kind of why this is nice. Let's see. Short. There we go. I think that's good enough. That seems to... whatever. Hey, what's up, Supplied Orange? What am I making? I will give you a link. I'm working on Aliasman, which is a tool for defining aliases. Okay, I prefer this. I think this is actually more clear. Any reason not to use HereDoc rather than an echo per line? Let's see. So this is POSIX shell, and I don't know if that is actually supported. I think that it isn't. I think that's why I chose to do this, because I'm writing for POSIX shell, not for Bash. Let me let me look it up real quick. Because there's something different about the two. But there was something else that I could do. I don't think it applies in this case. There was basically an expansion. I think I could actually do a single string, because I don't use double quotes anywhere in here. But then you lose the alignment. And the here doc with alignment can only be done in Bash and only with tabs. So pick your poison. But thank you for the suggestion. And if I'm mistaken about that, feel free to correct me. So for example, this one right here, this probably doesn't print out the way that I'm thinking that it ought to. Actually, it does, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, does it? I gotta look at this real quick. Aliasman. Okay, yeah. So this one, does that print out the way that I wanted it to? I don't think it does. I think it's got way extra characters. Yeah. So I could just say, I mean, it wouldn't be that bad if I just said, okay, first line is like this, but then all the rest of the lines we just back up against here. That'd be okay. Alright, let me put this in my buffer as E. There we go. Now that will be lined up the way that I expected it to be. Sorry, Sublime Orange, what was it that you didn't know could be done? Yeah, unlearning Bash has been a difficult process. Learning what's actually standard and will be available in different deployment environments is kind of a pain, but I much rather make the occasional sacrifice and just have it work everywhere than have these little Bashisms here and there and then get bug complaints. Oh, it's not working on Alpine. It's not working here. It's not working there. You know, it's because they're so small. And when you think about it, yes, there are one or two features of Bash that are genuinely more useful, but in general, it's just more complicated. Oh, I'm sorry. Uno Brandon. Hey, what's up? I am so sorry. I did not see you jump in earlier there. And I need to get I thought I had, I don't know if anybody's raided me today. I know when somebody raids because they post a lot of emojis, and I don't know if that's what you were doing, Uno Brandon, if you brought some people over or what. But for some reason, my little thing that's supposed to pop out like everybody else has, it doesn't fire off. I need to go in the settings on whichever it is that I've got it set up with and double check and see what's going on. But meh. Okay, I guess that's... So, if that's what that was, thanks. Alright, scrolling back down to the bottom. Okay. So yeah, we're just going to go with this style as the best style. Yeah, I think that's more difficult to read. I think this is the most easy to read. I'm going to go with that. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the README here. good. Wait, is that... I'm so confused. Oh, oops. Oh, that's... Yes, this is the better way to describe that. Okay, I'm just going to have all of this come out anyway. So maybe... Alright, we're gonna bump that version up in a minute for the docs. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna just have this print itself out. There we go. Okay. There we go. We're going to have to change that version, but not quite yet. Let's see here. Short form, long form. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's all good. Cat is going to be bat. Style equals plain. Let me make sure one more time that's what I had in here. Yeah. Okay. There we are. But you know what? I'm going to bump this straight to 1.1.2 because I don't like the version 1.1.1. It's too many ones. You know what I'm saying? let's see, doc. So now we're going to show alias string compatibility. There we go. And get rebase dash I. What are we doing, main? No. That's not what I want to do. I wanted to do. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to change the version number. And we're just going to bump to 0.2 because I can't do 1.1.1. Plus, I don't think I'm ever going to change this again. Other than updating the documentation, I don't think I'll ever change this again. This is the only problem with it is that I made it too flexible. I should have been more strict in how I supported things. Okay. Bumped to v1.1.2 because I don't like the number. The version v1.1.1. Too sterile. There we go. See, this is my pedanticism. I need that to be a lowercase t. And if we're not going to use punctuation there, can't use punctuation there. I don't recommend other people be like that necessarily. Get it right the first time, that way you don't have to fix it, right? Okay, so get checkout main, get rebase, get push. Okay. So there we are. And then I'm going to go to back again to my releases. And then we're just going to go, draft a new release. I'm going to choose this one, 1.1.2. Generate release notes. Jumped to v1.1.2 because I don't like how v1.1.1 looks. Too sterile. Maybe not put that just in case somebody who's not an English speaker. Yeah. English fluent. Whatever. Okay, there we are. Good. Alright, that's that. Let's look at the full change log. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, now that's done. Do I have any other browser windows open? I don't have any other browser windows open. It would be nice to update that over here. But, oh well, it's in the main documentation. Wow, 2 minor releases in one night. Well, this one was a patch. There's 1 minor and 1 patch. So, yeah, that's only because I forgot what I was doing. Alright, let's see if we do Webby Aliasman if we get the updated one. I think it's been more than 15 minutes, which would mean that it would go grab the new releases. Yeah, so there we go. There we are. Cool. What else? Is there anything else to do? It really wasn't that important, but when I have trouble focusing on things that are important, I focus on something that isn't instead. See? It's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. And I don't regret it. And I would like to hang out and do some more of the actually important work. But I'm just going to continue to think on this, sleep on it, and we're going to go raid somebody. How about that? How's that sound? Sounds good? Great. That's what I thought. All right, who have we got to raid? There's nobody that I already follow that's on. We got somebody's doing Django and reading tarot cards in a database. Game Jam, Game Dev, Music, Ask Your Dame game questions here. Let's see. Anybody got a suggestion for who to raid? I'll just go check the whatchamadoodle. Cold Boot FTL OC Remix by 744. Okay, that's weird. Software and game development. What do we got? Just kind of scrolling through here, seeing who we can find. Hey, somebody's doing Golang. We're going to do that. I'm going to use, because, you know, I can't copy and paste from the website because it's 2023 and we can't copy and paste from websites anymore without clicking something. So I'm going to use my little Tech Sniper util. And we're going to go raid Fukushine, I think. Alright, so y'all have a good one. I'm headed out. Thanks so much for joining in. It was great having you. Adios.